Before we jump into this episode, I just wanted to give you a little context. I'm starting Explorer Jeremiah to have honest conversations with people who have taken risks, faced major life challenges, and who found the courage to design a life on their own terms. This first episode with the Ropemonster wasn't actually supposed to be a full episode. It was simply a trial run and a sound check so that I can understand how to use the equipment and learn how to host a podcast. But the conversation became much more insightful than I had ever expected. The Ropemonster shared how he had started on YouTube, how he faced his fears, and how he found the motivation to keep moving forward even when he didn't know where this would head. Since I'm on that same journey, I thought this might be the perfect first episode to share. Subscribe and follow along as I learn, explore, and see where this goes. Thanks a lot.
Your first year, you got to give yourself a license to just experiment. Like I said earlier, you miss all the shots you don't take. If you have an idea that comes to you, just try it. Yeah, film it, edit it, upload it, see what happens.
Well, welcome back to another Explorer Jeremiah. Have you ever felt like you're not ready to step out of your comfort zone and really put yourself out there? If you're thinking about making any YouTube or other content, I have a great interview for you today. I'm joined with the one and only Ropemonster. He's a legend here actually in Playa, Carmen. How often do you actually get recognized per day now at this point?
All right, legend. Let's not take it too far. Good to be here, Jeremiah. Oh, it's constant. It's like if I go to Chedraui and get some butter, I'm somehow, taking selfies with some people from Egypt or like Montreal. It's cool. It's great. It's constant. But man, all walks of life. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, today I wanted to interview the Ropemonster because he, in a very short amount of time, has put together a really impressive YouTube channel. You have about 25,000 subscribers at this point, somewhere around that. And you started it in any real effort, basically, in about February of 2024. Is that right?
Correct. You were listening.
I do listen occasionally. Sometimes it actually sinks in, but sometimes, most of the time it doesn't.
Yeah, that's when I started uploading consistently, like no excuses, right? Like even if I had dengue, I was like, I'm just going to upload a video about how I have dengue and everything hurts. And
yeah. Well, and it's so hard for most people to really step out there. Even myself, I've always been, my number one fear growing up was like public speaking. And one thing that I've always been really impressed with the Ropemonster is that he puts it all out there. You are walking down Fifth shooting, you're on the beach shooting, you walk through the stores, and it's always super fun to watch in your videos, actually, when people do recognize you, because you make them feel really welcome and you kind of bring them in. But how did you get over the fear and just the judgment, self-judgment, feeling like you're, maybe not doing well or sound stupid or all of that? How did you get over that?
I mean, the biggest thing for most people that I hear is self-doubt. Like, who's going to watch this?
Yeah.
Why would anyone watch this? The moment for me was, there was one specific moment, and it made me realize that it wasn't about me. It was when I filmed Jorge's Quesadilla stand, and I didn't know how to edit. I had just bought a microphone. I have a Rode mic, a gimbal, like a stabilizer, and an iPhone 13. But I believe so strongly that people needed to know that this Chapaneco, this lovely dude from Chiapas, was making the best food in Playa del Carmen, and it was 30 pesos for this handmade tortilla, made with love. You feel good after you eat it. I was like, this is my duty to let the world know this exists. This isn't about me. This is about Jorge, and this is about connecting people with his food. Mm-hmm. And I did that video with 0 edits, no music, no cuts, one take, and I uploaded it. And over time, it got like 13,000 views, and it changed Jorge's life. It changed his family's life. And I'm getting like chills talking about it right now. I was actually just over there yesterday after my massage, got 2 quesadillas. His wife and his daughter were there. And I realized that his channel was a tool um, to do a lot of good. And once I got that mindset, I got over myself and my fear of, I don't like being on camera that much. I film my intros now like this, but if you look at some of my earlier videos, I wasn't even really in the shot. You know, a lot of times I would just film POV, and that's the way I'm trying to keep it. Like we did one at El Cielito Lindo recently, and the owner is this lovely Cuban lady. I went in there recently. She gave me a big hug, and it's just about changing the course of people's lives, giving people a boost. And then also like the people watching this know where to go eat. They're not going to get food poisoning. They're going to get a good deal. So that's the switch that was flipped for sure.
And did you face a lot of self-judgment and criticism and all of that, prior to that?
Every single time I turned the camera on, every single time I thought about turning the camera on, there's this little voice that's like, why would anyone watch that? What makes my content worth watching? There was another thing though. I looked up, like numbers are big for me. I'm like, okay, if 2.5 people have access to YouTube globally, which I think that's about accurate. You guys can run that.
2.5 billion? Is that what you said?
2.5 billion.
Oh my God.
Have access to YouTube. And so my thought was, well, why couldn't I attract, just by being myself why couldn't I attract 10,000 of them or 1,000? Because all you need to monetize is 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. Answer that for me. Like, why wouldn't, out of 2.5 billion people, why wouldn't 1,000 people like you, or relate to you,
Yeah. No, I became friends with a girl down in Bali in 2017 who had a pretty popular podcast. And I wanted to start something forever. And I actually started shooting YouTube back then. And after a series of events and whatnot, I kind of pushed it to the side and had a lot of self-judgment and didn't get it going. And, I think there's so many people that can relate out there that have had an idea or they've wanted to express themselves and they haven't been doing it. So do you have any message to those people that, have an idea, a concept, something they're interested in? What would you tell them?
You miss all the shots you don't take. Like you throw up some bricks, you miss, but when you get that swish, it feels pretty good. You miss all the shots you don't take. And also, this is your world. This is your game. Like you literally create the world around you. You decide who you spend time with. You decide the thoughts you think, if you're in control of your own mind. You decide when you go to sleep, when you wake up, and you become more and more and more the owner of your reality and the creator of your reality. So the way that begins is by being authentic and trying to let that authenticity come through in your content. So what you're passionate about, like if you have a travel channel, you love Bali, or say maybe you like Lombok better, you might go over to Lombok and camp and film this stuff. And you just got to hit that upload button. Like it's not about your edits. It's not about whether you have access to a bunch of really nice copyright-free music. People want to know you and they want to see you being you, like the most authentic version. So you have to hit that upload button. Even if you don't think it's good enough, you have to just hit that button.
Yeah. Yeah. There's, and what would you tell people that haven't been doing it and they're beating themselves up at this point? They feel like they've lost time, that they have regrets, maybe they missed their window. What would you tell them?
Every window that closes, every chapter that closes, there's more, there's always more. Like if you're still here, there's something to talk about. I've noticed, and I'm not on my phone or I'm not on YouTube a ton, but I've seen a few things pop up. And it's like, 70 or 80-year-old guys being like, I'm going to give you all the wisdom of my life in 13 minutes or 9 minutes. And so even these guys who are in their 60s or 70s, even my brother for that matter, who just got laid off, decided to just do a vlog and was walking through the woods. And that video got over 400,000 views, and, he's almost 40 years old and he just picked up his camera and started to learn how to edit. So you may have missed a window, but you haven't missed the next window and the next window, you know,
As long as you're still kicking on.
yeah, just, I mean, look at William Towdy. Look at this Swedish guy who's now become like a friend of mine. I used to watch him with my dad, you know, during the global health crisis. And when I first saw his videos, the video would end and I'm like, what the heck did I just watch for the last 18 minutes? He's locked in his, you know, hotel. He's taking a bubble bath with salvo dish soap because he has no bubble bath. And I'm like, dude, this guy's like poisoning himself with formaldehyde, like in a high rise in Thailand. And
That's when you first found him, is when he was living over there?
yeah, it was like I was, you know, pretty much shut down during the pandemic, and as everybody was. And I find this guy, and I don't know why I kept watching his videos, you know, but he kept uploading them. I kept watching them. And then fast forward like 4 years, and me and him are at the Deportivo, like doing pull ups and running together and like eating ice cream. And yeah, we both got ice cream all over. I'm like, it comes back to creating that reality. Um, he just kept uploading, man, you know. So
Could you tell the difference in quality of his videos over time as well?
it was just an evolution, you know, like he would do pool tricks and I was super entertained by that. I mean, he's taking serious risk, like life and limb. He's doing like handstands on a wall and then doing a backflip from a handstand into a pool that's way too shallow, but he just always lands it, you know. Um, he has like some editing skills. So he had this one where he had like his evil alcoholic brother Sven or something, and it was just him, but he was editing it. I mean, um, it's just evolution. Now I think he's in the Philippines. He's been in Thailand. He did this one where he's on a scooter on like a very busy highway, and he's like filming while he's riding his scooter, and he's going to Sriracha, and he's like, I think this is the place where Sriracha hot sauce comes from. And I'm like, here I am watching that video, you know. So will my videos always be sargassum updates and just pounding tacos de birria? I don't know, because I'm pretty sure I have some gallstones and I might need to eat less fat. Maybe there will be a video of me just wrecking vegan food for a week and just see what happens to, like, maybe I can get as vascular as you if I just eat vegan food for a week. But you can be sure that I'll film it and upload it. I'm going to hit that button and, you know, maybe those videos will get like 300 views. I don't know, but it's going to be out there.
So is that your kind of path? You feel like you want YouTube to evolve with you and you to just kind of like shoot whatever you're interested in, or what's your kind of strategy or your drive, motivation
That's a
path?
fantastic question. So I spent a lot of time with my dad during the pandemic, and we would watch these YouTube videos together, travel channels like Jumping Places, William. And I realized, you know, this YouTube channel was a way to document fully what I was doing, because I can't send my dad a 28-minute video on WhatsApp that's going to look good and like illustrate what life looks like through my eyes. So part of it was just like he watches all my videos, you know, and I just want him to be along for the journey. But I also love looking back at my old videos. There's some that are super meaningful to me. You know, like when I met Sabrina in Cozumel and we did the El Cielo tour, it was just a vibe. And I spent like 4 hours straight without looking away from my computer while I edited that. And we were drinking some beer out there on that tour. And I got like a 6-pack of beer while I edited the video. I wanted to like capture the exact vibe. And I feel like it did. And so a lot of it's just documentation of my life. You know, it's cool. Like I was in Morocco a little over a month ago, driving on these dangerous roads, being like, man, I thought 2026 was going to be a safer year, going to make better decisions in 2026. And I'm like filming, holding a camera out the window, driving a 2-wheel drive Hyundai Accent up a road that, like, you know, people have probably lost their lives on, you know. Um, and that's documented. It's out there, you know, even if those videos get 3 or 4,000 views, that's one of my favorite videos. We went to this like lost village. There were no tourists there. There's nobody around, just me and Sabrina. And the thing that stands out in the video is she was like cool as the other side of the pillow the whole time. She never looked scared. Even in my mind, I'm like, this is kind of crazy. Um, that's one of the big reasons I certainly don't do it to build some like powerhouse brand and like sell a ton of merch, although there is some merch.
There is some cool new merch.
Some cool merch. But that's a lot of it is just documentation.
Yeah.
And being able to look back and account for my time.
Well, and that's one of the reasons I kind of got burned out. I used to post a lot on Instagram, and so much of it was just, it felt shallow, and I wish I would have stuck with the YouTube more and captured more of that, because I had just some amazing years over in Bali, and it was hard, like you said, to always be. It was hard to convey what it was like to be there, because it was all this short form stuff, and it felt like I had to have it perfect and edited, and like you said, that's one of the things that I really appreciate about your content is just you kind of just get out there and shoot it, and just kind of enjoy yourself, But I think you once said to me, you're not doing it right if you're not having fun.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to be smiling, laughing. And being surprised is a lot of fun too. But I get what you mean about the short form stuff. I was doing the same route. Like when I retired fully, I went to Ecuador because I knew I could afford it, and then I ended up meeting this Cuban girl, falling in love. And the plan was to like explore all of South America. And instead of like getting to know, Chile and Argentina, I just stayed there with Anna. But I was doing all this short form Instagram stuff, and I totally see what you mean, because it wasn't fully capturing the vibe, the experience, the feel. Ecuador is a mysterious place to a lot of people. It's not the place where a lot of information comes out of, like maybe say Colombia or Mexico. Ecuador is just one country too far for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I guess maybe we share some of the same feelings, like about your time in Indonesia. I feel like I just kind of missed some opportunities there. I wasn't really doing, I think I had one YouTube video from there where we were just driving through Guayaquil, and it was just kind of a POV drive, but all the beautiful things we did, all the hikes, the climbing. I mean, Kawas National Park.
Did you capture that, or you didn't?
It's on Instagram. It's like there's these reels with, a couple thousand views or whatever, but they're just, reels.
Exactly. Yeah. No,
they're not full stories.
Yeah. I lost, I don't know how long ago it was, probably a year and a half ago. I lost a phone that I had that wasn't backed up, and there was like 6 years of travel on it. That was just kind of devastating, because it was it's basically most of my time in Bali.
That's brutal, man.
And road tripping in the US. And it was like, man, if I would have just captured that and uploaded it, I'd have these long form, capture the moments. I got them in my head, but kind of like you said, you just, and that's why I'm, just starting this podcast and YouTube channel now, because it's like, why wait? In 10 more years, I'm only wish I had this time right now. So
yeah. Well, yeah, dude. I mean, you're still young, still got good head of hair, like you got all the time in the world. And I love this studio. It's got a good vibe. Like you put in some work here, man. Like the lighting, Brian put in some work.
And I have Brian to thank for this, because without him, man, none of this would have gotten done.
It feels legit. Like it feels like Joe Rogan and like Elon Musk could be sitting here, and maybe they will. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Someday. Yeah. For now, we're enough. True enough.
That's what I keep telling myself.
It's a great studio. I mean, I think another thing to circle back to, like the purpose of the channel, or the purpose of, say, a podcast, is like you can give people a voice who may have otherwise just been talking to themselves, or maybe their stories in their head. Like you said, you lost your phone and all those memories are in your head. Like when you just hand over the mic, or like let someone sit down in front of the camera and the mic, all of a sudden they have a voice, and there's no limit to how many people it can reach, how many people it can be shared with. I interviewed this guy in Morocco in Tamagrut. I haven't edited or uploaded the video yet, but this guy was doing pottery. And I asked him, I was like, if you had a message to share with the whole world, what would it be? And this is after getting his backstory, how he's been learning from his dad since he was 6 years old. And now he's teaching pottery, and he's doing it full time. he just wished that the world would go back to using natural, clay and things instead of plastic, and how it would change the entire course of the world. And that was his message. And honestly, I could just upload that short interview with him, and there's no limit to how profoundly that can impact people's choices, decisions of consumerism, whether they go to Walmart or whether they go to a local market and buy handmade stuff. So using it to give people a voice is huge. And you've got a studio, you've got an unlimited capacity to give people voices. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can put it to use ourselves and have some good chats. And then, I plan to bring in interesting people that are doing cool things, and hopefully, help some people that are on the path and kind of trying to get some stuff straightened out. So
yeah, well, this has been a good one so far. I feel like you're a great host, man. Like,
thanks.
Got some
It's
profound.
been a long time coming.
Yeah. So your background, I mean, you were in real estate for a long time. You were mentioning you wanted to get into real estate potentially here in Playa, Mexico. What are your thoughts? What's your angle on that? What part of town interests you the most?
Here in Playa?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really more, I really want to make it more kind of Mexico wide, honestly, and potentially different locations and around the world. I love Playa, and it's just a question of, and you know how this is in terms of being a locationally independent person, is like, how long do you see yourself in one spot?
For sure.
And so,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of potential here just because there's people always moving in, and I love it. It's a great base. But I think really the message is more for people that, just kind of encouraging people to take the leap of living somewhere else, whether they buy something or not. I'd love to help them with that. But we can go down some deep rabbit holes sometime in real estate and just, where you choose to live and why. Opportunities here, opportunities in other places in Mexico. I plan to continue to explore more of Mexico as well. And I really want to be kind of investigating other areas. That's one of my passions, is just, kind of getting on the ground and getting to know places, and sharing that, kind of like you said with your person that you wanted to share, Jorge.
Yeah.
Was it Jorge?
Yeah. Correct.
Did I
Correct.
actually catch that?
You did.
Okay.
You got it right.
It's good.
Yeah. No, I think that's it. It's just getting some sandals on the ground and getting that POV look, and really talking to people locally, get the vibe of what's actually, happening, going on. So let's jump down that rabbit hole maybe next time.
Yeah. We won't make this too long today, but I really appreciate it. If you have any last message for people who, look up to a specific YouTuber or content creator or anyone like that, and they'd like to do something similar, or they'd like to challenge themselves this year in 2026, what would you tell them? And what would be your final thoughts with that?
Your first year, you got to give yourself a license to just experiment. Like I did my first year, I said, look, I don't know what's going to work, so I'm just going to try to rotate 3 or 4 different ideas. So I never in a million years thought that people would watch me eat food. I just thought that was kind of weird, but I started doing like rental videos, beach videos. I talked about investment, retiring early. I shared my favorite restaurants. I ate ridiculous amounts of seafood in some videos. And it turns out that all of those ideas were pretty solid. Some work better than others, but you have to give yourself a license to just experiment in the first year. Like I said earlier, you miss all the shots you don't take. If you have an idea that comes to you, just try it. Film it, edit it, upload it, see what happens.
And I can appreciate that advice, because I think it's so counterintuitive or counterculture to what you hear nowadays, as they say, the riches are in the niches, and you got to be so specific. And that's one of my struggles, is I want to be able to share on food, on health, on locations, on spirituality, connection with self, all of that.
Yeah, do it all. Look at Kurt Kaz. I don't watch a lot of YouTubers, but Kurt Kaz, I think he's at like 4 million subscribers or something. And I happened to catch one of his videos. He was in Peru, and his camera work, if she's watching this, sorry, dude, but like his camera work wasn't that great. He's going through Peru, like rural Peru with his buddy, and they're buying like coca leaves at local shops and just talking with locals. And then they go to their like cheap, like budget lodging toward the end of the video. It was like a 28-minute video and I watched the whole thing. And then he's got some that are about like avoiding scams and they're more like information dense. And you just film it and someone's going to watch it. You know, if you're passionate about it, if it's so like 1 week you could be doing health stuff. 1 week you could be doing real estate stuff and people are going to watch it. A lot of husband and wives, you know, couples and families watch my channel. And a lot of the guys say, oh, I watch for the beach updates. And a lot of the women will be like, I watch for the food. And some of the guys are like, I watch for the retire early investment stuff. And that feedback is worth gold. But there's something for everyone. If you don't lock yourself into a niche, like my channel isn't called like travel with the Ropemonster. Like it's not a travel channel. It's not retire early with the Ropemonster. It's just the Ropemonster. I'm just going to film what I feel passionate about.
Awesome.
Yeah, you should do that.
Well, I appreciate that. We'll do this again sometime very, very soon. Appreciate you being on the very first podcast with me. Very first episode.
Pleasure's all mine, dude.
We'll do much more.
Thanks, man.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you for joining us, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll talk to you soon.
Ropemonster out.